Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. This is our list. Maybe hard to read, but this is our list of all of our picks. You may notice that there's nobody crossed off because nobody's technically out of the game yet. They're all at edge of extinction. But there's one top corner there, the B-back team, the Cleveland Browns of tribes. And they have no marks until now. Sandra DT, SDT, goodbye. Parvati Shallow, bye-bye. That looks a lot better. Be back. Suck it. Internet! Welcome to 2.5 Brains. Bailey just jumped off the couch in fear. We're talking about the latest episode of Survivor. Another jam-packed episode, a double boot. Very exciting. Talking all about it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Subscribe right there at the bottom of the screen. Get all the updates and all the crazy stuff we're doing. Masked Singer's been on fire. And this show's been doing really, really well as well. Thank you for all the viewers and everybody's watching. You can email the show, pavementproductions@gmail.com, facebook.com/pavementproductions to like our page. And you can tweet me directly, yo, grab a gabba. Tell us everything about all our shows and what we're doing and give us your feedback. Thank you for all the feedback we've been getting, lots of comments, lots of ratings and subscribers. We're really appreciating all that. Thank you for everybody who's shared the post and told their friends. We really, really appreciate it. Try to get some guests on in the next little bit if possible, but we're having fun regardless of any of that. So, anyways, let me go ahead and bring in my co-host, the other half of the 2.5 Brains, because that's, great math. Let's bring in Jessica. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hello.
I didn't finish my candy.
You should scooch down this way.
I was going to finish my candy.
Yeah, I know. I got my candy too. Hello.
So, Jessica, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Don't ask.
Okay, don't ask, don't tell. So, how did you like this episode of Survivor? Let's just dive right into it.
Well, I'm really happy it was none of my people, finally, for once.
Wasn't for once, for like 3 times, because Billy lost all his people too.
Shut up. Anyways.
You only had one person who was eligible to be voted out this whole thing, right?
I did, and his name wasn't dropped.
But not
once. And on the other tribe, we pretty much would have known who got kicked off. It was one of my people. But anywho, I love Sandra. I was really surprised at what happened with her. It
Shocking.
was insane.
Insane membrane.
I figured Parvati was going to go. It was between Parvati and Wendell. Not saying I'm disappointed Parvati went, but...
Yeah, I thought it would be between Parvati and Michelle. It would be between Parvati and Wendell, which is...
Yeah, I mean, you got to be smart. You got to get them out before the merge, which the merge will be happening in the next couple weeks. And hopefully people are starting to realize the gameplay I like better. Everybody's making smarter decisions, in my opinion. Just, I guess, getting more into the game now. But it's a good episode. The world is crazy, so some good TV is nice.
Nice to get through the crazy times.
Yeah.
Well, this is a new podcast this week with Josh Wigler, or as Johnny Fairlight calls him, Tyler Weigert, and Jessica Leese, Haymaker Hattie on Twitter. And they were talking about how it's as if The Walking Dead knew that we'd be going through some hard times right now, so they gave us a great episode.
We're going through a pre-apocalyptic time.
Well, and they said that the Walking Dead was really, really good this week, which is perfectly when we needed it. So if they could have had a great episode 2 weeks from now, maybe it wasn't as needed as it was right now. So good to have great TV after your second house, anyways, right?
Yeah. Very much.
How do people find you on Twitter, Jessica?
Just T820.
Definitely. Any other thoughts on the episode before we dive into the actual meat and potatoes here?
Meat and potatoes. I think we got enough right now.
Hopefully.
I need to go buy more potatoes.
Okay. So
I'm good. We'll talk more about everything in the episode.
Sounds good. So let's start off with the 3 moments that mattered. Let's talk about who did not survive the 2 times. The 2 people who did not survive this week. I already crossed them off our lists. I put the X next to them, so that helps. So we don't forget. And then the top 3 and bottom 3 of the week. It was kind of hard to find a little bit, but it was definitely one. The top 1 was not hard to find.
No.
The freaking badass was not what dominated this episode, and we'll talk about that. But for right now, let's talk about the top 3 moments that mattered. Start with moment number 1, which is...
Tyson gets some peanut butter.
Yeah, Tyson got some peanut butter.
Not only did he get peanut butter, I finally got peanut butter too.
Yay! You're not on a stranded island, desert island, but that's good. Might be.
I mean...
May eventually be. It's kind of, So, what about Tyson getting his peanut butter?
Tyson got a fire token. He found... Well, first, started off Edge of Extinction. He was bringing over a giant log. Everybody thought they had to bring their logs back up the giant mountain.
Yeah.
Basically. They had to find something hitting on an island. It said turning over rocks. They had to turn over rocks. Rob turned over every single rock that there was. Tyson all of a sudden saw this package kind of hid under a ledge, which I thought it would be kind of like a rock ledge or a bunch of rocks or whatever. And he found, and what was it? Oh no, the blocker, idle blocker.
Idle nullifier.
No, nullifier, whatever. Same thing.
Idle nullifier.
Yeah. And he sent it over, and he got a fire token. I forget who he sent it over to.
Sent it to Parvati.
No, that's right.
And she bought it with her fire token.
She did. So then he went over and decided what to buy, and he bought some peanut butter.
Yeah, so he decided, instead of saving it for an advantage in the game, or to get back in, he bought peanut butter, which he figures
Plus,
keep him fed.
Yeah, you could buy... He said he wouldn't buy an idol because it doesn't work there anyways, and he doesn't know if he's getting back in. Yeah.
So he said, might as well get fed. Might as well get some protein to get himself to do better in the challenges. Yeah. I think he's got a great shot to do well in the challenges. And he's a little bit older, than he was a few years ago, but he's still in really great shape. And I think he could win his way back in. I don't think he's number 1 on the board necessarily, but he's not number 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that peanut butter's smart. Probably anybody that has a fire token on that side might benefit off of having peanut butter. Some extra fuel, sugar, protein would help.
Absolutely. And I did like Rob and Amber hanging out. Oh, nice place you got here. That was kind of funny.
It was funny.
They got a nice long vacation from the kids. That's those 4 freaking girls. I can't imagine. I probably told the story before, but I remember seeing a tweet from Boston Rob saying how his daughter is cheating at Candyland. I'm like, well, Rob, look who her father is. It's cool. It was cool. Cool to see them, hang out. It's a cool dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
So Tyson won a fire token and bought peanut butter with it. Only person to actually cash in a fire token so far.
Yeah.
And used it at bottom.
Natalie's got 4, and everybody else has 1.
Except Rob.
And no longer Tyson because he spent it.
Correct. Yep. Sounds right. Anything else? Nothing really else to talk about on that. What's next?
Fire token negotiation.
Yeah, so that happened twice.
Negotiations.
It happened twice.
Yes, it happened twice.
What happened with that?
First, Wendell was trying to swindle Parvati into giving him both her fire tokens in exchange for not voting her out and voting either Yule or Nick out instead. That did not work. That did not go far. Even though during Tribal, it was brought up again in front of everybody. I figured Wendell was out at that point. But Nick also mentioned how you have to stab someone in the back eventually and, you're playing the game. So I think everybody kind of understood he was playing the game and didn't vote him out, and still Harvey is a bigger threat over Wendell. Wendell you could get out at another point. But the Mac Daddy fire token negotiations was Miss Sandra and Denise. Sandra wanted Denise's fire tokens in exchange for her idol, but she had to vote out Tony. Both T names.
Yeah.
Tony.
And, sorry to step in, but also, what's crazy is Sandra said, vote out Tony, and I'll give you, But I thought her idol was no longer good. That's why I thought the whole thing was going to be like
a scam.
Yeah, I thought she was just going to rip her off because it said three tribals, but apparently it's 3 tribals that she goes to. The other seasons has been 3 tribals total. Mm-hmm. Apparently this one is 3 tribals that Sandra attends.
Which makes sense, honestly. I mean, you don't need it unless you're going.
True.
So if you're not there and the whole thing, you bought it. She bought it.
Well, because the one thing, but what you just said makes a lot of sense. Because I was thinking about the Ron Clark advantage he got from that season. We had three tribals to use, 3 rounds basically to use his advantage menu. Mm-hmm. But there's things on there like stealing a reward, which you don't need to go tribal to have the deal to do that. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But if you don't go, you can't use it. You don't even have the opportunity to, so it'd be unfair for the thing to expire.
I guess, yeah.
But
doesn't mean they always do things that are fair, but for sure.
I know. So Denise gave up 1 fire token and was gonna give Sandra another one at the end when she knew that this was a real idol and it was all gonna work out, and man, was that good.
That was a great negotiation. So she ended up saving one, which is we'll talk about it in a little more detail here. But this is the first time that people have actually, since they've introduced fire tokens, people are actually using them as bartering chips. It's the first time they're actually using it.
It's smart.
It can add an element to the game, and it's not something that Survivor really needed, but it's cool to have it.
Yeah, well, it's value. Your word doesn't really mean anything, so you can give someone your word. I give you this, you have to do this. That doesn't mean anything. Negotiation with the fire token obviously doesn't mean anything either, but it's a value that you're getting that you can use.
Oh, absolutely. You can actually, it is something tangible that you can actually hold in your hand.
Right.
As opposed to somebody's word, which means nothing.
Yep.
Very neat. Mm-hmm. What else?
I think that's it. If we want to save it for the other discussions.
We do. What is the third moment that matters?
2 threats eliminated.
So 2 ginormous threats taken out of the game. And I said, if B-Back's team does well, this is going to be a very, very entertaining season. And he's lost his first 2 episode 6. Right? We're talking about the 6th episode of Survivor right now. And we lost 2 people and 2 Mount Rushmore Survivor players. 2 first ballot, both were first ballot Hall of Famers of Survivor.
Yeah, he's still got some entertaining people left. I wouldn't say, Tony, he's got his ever-loving mind.
Always.
Sandra's entertaining, but she's not crazy about it. Like, she makes you laugh. She's very upfront, which is good, but upfront to a point where it's like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Like, you said that to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Parvati, I don't know. She's not my cup of tea. I can, I guess, see through what she's trying to do. Like, trying to make relationships with people when you know that's really not, like, true. It's, it's the game. You're trying to play the game and convince someone to work with you and whatever. And her and Michelle just have the same voice.
Yeah. So he's got Michelle, Wendell, and Jeremy left.
Yes.
And Tony.
Yes.
But the thing that's interesting, though, too, on top of all that, Parvati did to Wendell what Rob did to Adam.
True.
Like, almost exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it just showed that they have such an ability to play the game. And it didn't work out this time. And this is the first time Parvati went out before the merge. But...
yeah, I mean, the game's definitely changed.
Oh, yeah.
The relationships and everything. It's different from when they played. And like we've said before, though, since they're returning players, you know how they played before, so you can see it coming. Like when Tony was hiding under his, what was it called?
Spy shack or spy bunker. Or
and like I think, was it Kim? Was like, is he? Yeah. Do you think he's got a spy shack again?
Oh yeah.
Like, so everybody knows what people can be up to.
Oh yeah.
So it's, I guess, easier to see through people a little bit.
For sure. 2 huge threats knocked out. It was one of those things where it was like, well, and the thing is too, they're talking about, well, it's kind of threats and people are connected against people who aren't threats and aren't connected. Mm-hmm. Since Denise won Survivor, she really hasn't been much in the Survivor community. I mean, she's friends with Sarah because they're from basically the same town. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, she keeps herself. She's got a family. She's got a practice as a psychiatrist.
Threats versus non-threats.
Right, and so and also people who are well connected. I mean, Parvati, Tyson, all them, they know everybody. Denise and Wendell and Nick kind of don't really, they kind of stick to themselves. Sophie's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Kim, sort of. But it's like the people who are big threats and know everybody against people who aren't really seen as big threats. And so the threats are trying to stick together.
Yeah.
And they're saying, the basically everybody in this game is a big threat, but to a different level. They said Denise isn't as big of a threat, so the threats need to stick together to go out Denise. Is basically what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2 massive threats gone. Old schoolish players, Parvati gone, Sandra gone. We'll talk about the Sandra thing in a second, because oh my god, one of the most ridiculous moves in Survivor history. I'm not even. It's 40 seasons in, something we've never seen happen before, at least in that way. Oh my god, Sandra has been taken out of the game by the winner of the season, last time. The only time she's won the game twice. Mm-hmm. The third time she played, she got swap screwed, and then taken out by Sarah, who won the game. After she took out all the other winners, she was the only winner left, and she had taken out at right before the merge, same day 16. And then this move to take her out, it's like the move that took Tyson, that took Malcolm out. Or Suri. Like it's almost like you need a move like this to justify taking out a legend. You know what I mean? Like when Suri got voted out her last time, it was after the idol train when there were 6 people left in the game and 5 of them had immunity. Like that's the only way you can get Suri out. It's like she's like Michael Myers. You can just do whatever you gotta do, and you have to do something ridiculous to finally get rid of her. That's how Sandra is. Yeah. Sandra is the queen, always will be. Mm-hmm. She got knocked out of this game. Doesn't tarnish her legacy at all, especially going out this way.
Yeah, no.
Especially going out this way. Mm-hmm. Parvati was down the numbers. She worked it. You gotta admit it. She worked to try to get back in that, and she almost flipped it. And you were saying, you're like, man, if Wendell could go today, and you wouldn't even be upset about it, really. Because Parvati worked to flip it. It was still the right move to take Parvati out.
Yeah.
Because she's still a bigger threat, but man, she almost flipped down and said it.
So we pretty much just started Who Did Not Survive.
Who Did Not Survive this week.
Who Did Not Survive. We're just the good transition.
Yes.
We already started it.
So Sandra and Parvati. We'll start with Parvati. What did Parvati do wrong? How did she get knocked out? I mean, it's pretty simple.
I mean, she just didn't have the numbers. She didn't have the people on her side, not on the tribe, and not much really in the game, in my opinion, though, because most of her closer allies were already on edge of extinction.
Oh, for sure.
So if she made it to the merge, she might be able to gotten some people on her side, but I don't know.
I don't know. It was interesting. It was definitely, it was hard to say. I mean, she was down the numbers really the whole, from day one.
Right.
She was supposed to be targeted day one again. Mm-hmm. And you let Parvati, the longer you let Parvati go in the game, the more steam she's going to get, the more momentum she's going to get. You got to get her out as soon as possible, and they finally did. Nick was saying how she was like his high school crush, basically.
Which I was actually surprised that he didn't vote Wendell out and voted her out instead.
For sure.
He knows though. There's no way he was gonna win against her.
He made the smart move. He made the strategic move rather than the emotional move. And that Parvati was down the numbers. She tried to work it, did the best she could do, and she got an advantage as she bought the fire token. It just wasn't an advantage that was going to help her in this case. Right. If it was like an idol, or if it was like the Jeremy's thing, the safety without power, or any of those things.
Right.
If she had one of those things, great. But she happened to get an advantage. That was an idol nullifier, and there was no idols played, so it didn't do anything.
Right. Doesn't Wendell have an idol though? I thought he found one.
That was last season he played. He doesn't have one.
No. Someone else found one though. There was a guy.
Kim has one, right? Kim has one,
but I thought a guy just recently found one when they were walking around.
Maybe?
I'm not sure. Maybe not. No, I think I'm thinking of Tyson finding that and shoving it down his pants.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Who found one when Rob was looking for that, although?
It was
Sophie.
Denise. Huh? No, he was
Sarah? Sophie has
Sarah?
one.
Oh, Sarah and Sophie? I thought that one was when Denise and Ben found it together.
No, it was like when Rob got voted out.
Yeah.
I think
it was Sarah.
Sophie and Sarah.
Yeah.
And they showed each other.
Yeah.
And then, because they had to give half of the one.
Yes.
And then Jeremy's got the safety without power.
Yep.
Denise had an idol. And Kim has an idol.
Yes.
Okay. There's so many advantages. Like they have to put in the bottom third now what advantages they have and how many fire tokens they have because there's so much. There's so much going on. It's hard to keep it all straight. But so that's what happened to Parvati. I mean, just simply victim of being down the numbers and tried to work the best she could. Try to flip it. It was like she's down the numbers. She's a gigantic threat just reputation alone. And you're gonna choose between her, Wendell, or Michelle.
Yep.
Easy decision about Parvati. And unfortunately for her, she's just too big of a threat and too good at the game. You gotta get rid of her, and you get the other shots to do what they did. So let's talk about the Queen. What happened to the Queen? How did she get knocked out?
So.
Oh my God.
Sandra told Denise that she had to vote out Tony in order to get the idol so she could save herself because she told her that everybody was voting Denise that night. They go to tribal. Everybody votes Denise. But Denise does not vote for Tony. Denise votes for Sandra and uses her own idol she got from Sandra and hers to put it on Jeremy and blew up the entire game.
So Sandra made, I thought, one of the best moves you're going to make. Mm-hmm. She said Tony's her ally. She knows she can't go far in the game with Tony because Tony's erratic.
Yeah.
And they're allies, and Tony's gonna gun for her because Tony knows even if she's a shield, he has to eventually take her out to win.
Yep.
So she knows she can't go there with Tony. Mm-hmm. So she was like, "Well, what she did, what I said Malcolm should have done his first season against Denise. He should have taken the idol. What Malcolm should have done his first season was it was Denise, him." Abby Maria, Lisa Welchel from Facts of Life, and another guy who will remain nameless. And the four of them were all aligned against Abby. Malcolm had an idol. He's like, well, I don't need it. I'm just going to give him out. What he should have done was give it to Abby, tell Abby to vote for Denise. Abby throws a vote on Denise. Denise gets voted out. Abby and Malcolm are there at the end. They're at least going to split the votes because Abby's going to be aligned with Malcolm the rest of the way. And then they go to the end. Malcolm at least has a shot to make fire. He will make fire against somebody and be in the final three and win. But instead, he kept the idol. They vote out Abby, and then they vote out Malcolm. So that's how he lost. So what he could, what Malcolm would have done in that case was give rid of Denise, his number one ally, and the only person who could beat him.
Yeah.
What Sandra did was exactly what Malcolm should have done, and it still didn't work. But Sandra's like, I'm going to give this idol to Denise. We'll all vote for Denise. Including me. She voted in her question. She said, "This means nothing. I just have to vote for you to, because I have to throw all the votes on you."
Yeah. Which
was genius. She basically threw away her vote onto Denise.
She did. Can you imagine though if she actually put her vote on Tony?
Yeah.
Because then it would have been split
between
Sandra and Tony.
Ridiculous. And the crazy thing is, right? So she says, "Here, I'm going to vote for Denise," even though it means nothing because Denise is going to vote for Tony, and all those votes are going to be canceled out, but she's going to vote for Tony. Mm-hmm. So her plan was, which was very smart, give Denise the idol. Denise idols Tony out of the game. I get no blood on my hands, and my number one threat's gone.
Yeah.
Because Tony doesn't know that, and nobody thinks I turn on Tony. It's just Denise save herself and get rid of Tony. But genius.
Tony is not everyone's biggest threat.
Correct. And Denise, and so that was a great move by Sandra. And if Denise would have pulled it off, it would have been a very good move by Denise and a great move by Sandra. Mm-hmm. It would have been Sandra would have been up here, Denise would have been right here. Both are in a good spot, but this would have been more Sandra's move than Denise's.
Yeah.
So Denise said, after that, I'm going to take Sandra's idol, give my idol that I have to Jeremy, make sure that nobody throws a hinky vote on Jeremy. So if they split the votes between us, I'm saving Jeremy too. Because they might split the votes. So I'll save Jeremy. I'll take Sandra's idol, cancel out all the votes against me, and throw my one vote on Sandra. So that way, Sandra gave her the idea, but she turned it around on Sandra and voted her out.
Execution was different.
Correct. So
she saved a fire token.
And she saved a fire token when having to give the other one to Sandra. And 100% of the credit of the move goes to Denise. Zero, because it would have been 60 Sandra, 40 Denise, or 70 Sandra, 30 Denise. Now it's 100% Denise's move. because she did it all herself. So Sandra made a great move that got outgraded by a great move by somebody else. Sandra's move was genius, except there's only one way it could have got messed up, and it was if Denise was smarter. And Denise is... That's why I picked her. That's why I picked her like second overall.
Yeah.
My second pick. She is as smart a player as you'll ever see playing Survivor. And we'll talk about it a little more later, but what a move. And what a way for the queen to go out like that.
Yeah, I'm sure she respects it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's pissed off in the moment,
yeah.
But she respects it.
Yeah.
Unreal. What a move. Wow. My jaw was on the floor.
So, no third win for Sandra this year.
No. She already has $2 million. She's not going to afford.
Yeah.
But actually, and again, she could still come back, but she won't.
I don't think so. I love you, but...
Yeah, I love Sandra.
She doesn't play in the team immunities. I don't think she'll be able to get through a individual challenge.
She's not great. But all the Sandra haters out there who are cheering, excited, shut up. She's still better than you. Sandra's one of the greatest of all time, and
it does suck that someone's gonna tie her. I guess her legacy.
It's true. Somebody else will have 2 wins, and that's fine. But Sandra's still the queen, still the best of all time, and I don't care. She's still a great player. I mean, the thing of that move shows that she's a great player.
Yeah.
And there's only one way it could have gone wrong, and it was if Denise decided to make a better move. They played a very high stakes chess, and she was in check and got checkmated out of check.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened. It was awesome. I can't say enough how great that move was. Let's move on because I don't want to.
We'll be talking for 10 more minutes about how great this move was. That's all you're gonna keep saying.
It was
yes. Move on. No.
That's what happened with Sandra. You can't. It's one of those things where it's hard to take out a legend, just like I said with Suri, or Malcolm, and they took out a legend in a major way with a huge, ridiculous move, and it was certainly worth it.
It was awesome. For sure.
Let's talk about the top 3 and bottom 3. Talk about the bottom 3. Who's in the bottom 3 right now?
First one we have is Adam Klein, who has very little allies left and is a huge target because he keeps flip-flopping, and once you get that reputation, people aren't going to trust you, and he's in a really bad spot.
Oh, definitely. And what's more, I think, for Adam, I think his biggest problem is, obviously, if they do merge, he's got to hope that happens. And he's probably not going to have very many allies when they do merge, but he has to hope that somebody else is a bigger threat.
Yeah.
When they keep taking out threats, and then he's got no real allies, that's a problem.
Yeah.
He said, and if they would have lost, he was gone. 100%. Because Ben swooped in and aligned with Sarah and Sophie.
Yeah.
So if Sarah and Sophie aren't going to vote Ben, they're going to vote Adam.
Right.
So Adam got outflanked by Ben, for sure.
Yep.
So Adam's definitely, I would say, if you say who in the game has the least amount of allies, it's Adam Klein right now. Or number 2 on the bottom list.
Michelle Fitzgerald.
Michelle Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't
really have anybody left.
No, she's feuding with Wendell. She has Jeremy still, so I'll give her that. Jeremy's still close to her.
Right.
So that's one thing she has maybe over Adam. She has Jeremy. Her and Wendell obviously don't get along. Obviously.
Yeah.
Bad blood there.
Then if she has Jeremy though, because she can branch out from that. Jeremy's got Denise now for sure locked in, so that's 3
and probably Kim and probably whoever else.
Maybe Kim, but
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Kim did. I thought Kim was gonna flip on Sandra or Tony.
Oh, I did too.
And it didn't happen either. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. See what the spread and Wolf does. But I mean, right now I think Michelle's in a tough spot. Also, because her only ally in that tribe was Parvati. Parvati won out. I think what's going to happen. I think they didn't say it in the commercial, and then the next time on, they usually do. I think they're gonna
bring Ruben back.
I think they're gonna bring somebody back this week, and then merge at 13. That's what they kind of been liking to do, and it makes the most sense to get rid of 2 people here and then merge and bring one back in.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're gonna do. They usually say that, like next time on Survivor, they say that we're gonna merge.
Yeah.
They didn't do that this time. They didn't really show anything though.
You're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
They didn't do that this time.
Yeah.
But they really didn't show anything either. They showed that, Michelle and Wendell like each other and Tony's being a goofball. Well, that's nothing new.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were just kind of showing us nothing because they're going to bring something back and then merge. Yeah. But they also maybe would have teased that more to get you to watch. So I don't know.
Maybe. I think they know this move was probably big enough and they didn't need that kind of preview.
Yeah, I don't know. Certainly possible. So I think that's what's gonna happen. And I think if they do merge next, that's better for the people on the bottom, like Michelle and Adam.
Yeah.
I think Michelle is in a little better spot because she has Jeremy, who then has other connections.
Yeah.
But I think Adam's on his own. So Adam's definitely in a bad spot. Michelle's not in a much better spot.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah.
No. Want to move on then to the last one, the bottom three?
Sure.
Who was last on the bottom three?
Tony Vlachos.
The Greek god, Tony Vlachos.
Si, senor.
So why is Tony here?
Because he's a loose cannon that's not going to last much longer because people are going to be afraid of him.
Yeah, I mean, Tony...
I would fear for trying to make a move with someone with him and then he would go flip and he would talk to other people. Instead, this time he just hid.
He hid the whole time and
so he
set
could
his
listen. And that should have been a huge target too, because like they said, why aren't you here talking? Don't you want to be a part of the conversation and
Absolutely.
whatever? I mean, it would have made sense to vote him out. But.
It would have. I think with Tony, I think the I don't know, maybe the issue with that or whatever. His first season, he had somebody to keep him in check. He go run around, burn down the house, and then he had somebody put the fire out, and he'd come back and apologize and rebuild the house. And then they said, Tony, don't do that again. And he said, okay, I won't. And then he voted them out. And then he would smooth things over. They'd vote out somebody on the other side, and then he'd vote. So he had Trish, basically what he had. He had Trish keep him under wraps. It's like they say, why was JT so good his first season and so bad his next two? Because JT had Steve in season 1. Steven was his. JT had all these crazy redneck ideas, and Steven's like, well, let's think about this. And Steven kept his brain, from going off the rails. Well, JT didn't have Steven his next 2 seasons. He did dumb things, like really dumb things. Well, how was he such a great winner his first season and so bad the next 2 seasons? Well, because he had Steven there to kind of keep him in line. Mm-hmm. Tony, second season, was the second person going out because he just got to the beach and ran down the beach screaming and was building spy bunkers and just being a psycho the whole time because he didn't have Trish there to keep him in check, or Cass or any of the people who he was lined with, right? Or Woo, he didn't have them to keep him in check. Woo, yeah, exactly. And he didn't have them to keep him focused. So if he's not focused, he's running around crazy. You know what's gonna happen, Jessica? We always talk about this.
What?
We always talk about this. Just slight tangent here because we have a minute. How come every clip of the thing, right, on the thing, is you with your head going, ah! Well, if you didn't do that so much, that would have the odds of that happening would be much lower.
Who?
Jessica.
Woo.
Young Woo Wang.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I understand. You should go to bed. So that was, yeah. So he didn't have anybody to keep him on track. And he kind of had Sandra to keep him reined in. But that's even kind of starting to, it was starting to fall apart this episode. And now with Sandra gone, Tony's left to his own devices, which may not be a good thing. Tony's a very smart player, but he needs somebody to kind of do the damage control for him.
Gotcha.
Right? Oh my God, Jessica.
Sorry, Ric Flair.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Tony, if Tony has somebody to keep him on track, he'll be way better shape.
Sure.
I'm not going to say debrief right now because you should lose it. And there goes the head again. Hey, drinking game. I want you to drink game. Every time Jessica throws her head back and laughs, take a shot.
No.
Come on, internet, you can do this. Comment below how wasted you are. Just start typing in the comments below. So that's all. That's all I'll say. Something we need to keep Tony under wraps, and if he doesn't, if he's left to his own devices, he will go crazy and build his own game.
What devices?
Exactly.
Like I'm on my under wraps.
Sure. Absolutely, Jessica.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on now. Finally, wrap this thing up before Jessica goes too crazy.
We're wrapping up somebody. Yes. Sorry, there's no toilet paper. Toilet paper shortage. No wrapping people up.
Exactly. So let's go ahead then and shift gears. Talk about the top 3 of the week. And who is number 3?
Jeremy Collins.
Jeremy 2 Collins, yeah.
Jeremy 2 Collins.
Jeremy 2 Collins on Twitter. Why is Jeremy here?
Well, I'll tell you.
Please do.
I mean, Denise threw a idol on him, so he's got a really close ally, someone that's probably, obviously wants to keep him around, so he's got someone that's going to keep him there and build on that relationship and bring other people in, and they never really mentioned his name ever to vote him out. Very rarely have I ever heard him on the chopping block, except for this one. Between Jeremy and Tony.
Between Jeremy and Tony and Jeremy.
Sandra had actually, that's what she said. It's either Jeremy or Tony, but none of the girls, basically, to vote out.
Yeah, and she wasn't going to vote Jeremy because that was the only one left from the other side.
Right.
And it would make sense for her to do that anyways. But what was really good about Jeremy, he's always, in and that's how he won his last season. He's close to everybody. Everybody's, aligned with him and everybody, wants to work with him. Mm-hmm. So what Jeremy is going to do, he's going to... The next move for Jeremy is to stick with Denise for a while. Yep. Because Denise obviously wants to work with him.
Right.
Obviously. Right. But vote her out before the end because she can say, hey, I saved your ass. So that's why he with me or wasn't for me, that's why I should beat him.
Yeah.
So he has to vote her out before the end of the game, but he should wait a while on that because clearly she wants to work with him.
Right.
And that's just a good ally for him to have.
Mm-hmm.
Between him, Michelle, and Denise, they can definitely do real big damage in the game.
Yeah.
Also, the irony is not lost on me, where Jeremy, the season he won, he had 2 idols. The first one he played to save his number 1 ally.
Interesting.
In Steven Fishback. He saved Steven with his idol and actually knocked out the biggest threat on the other side, which was at the time Sierra.
Muy interesante.
For sure. So the move that Denise made was almost identical to the move Jeremy made in his season when he won. Very neat. Mm-hmm. Very big move.
Neato.
Jeremy played the idol to save Steven and knock out Sierra, who was the biggest threat on the other side. Denise took her idol, saved Jeremy, and took out Sandra, the biggest threat on the other side.
Hello from the other side?
Exactly. All right, Adele, calm yourself. You need to go to bed. You're out of control.
Not out of control.
All right.
Cannot cage me.
All right, exactly.
So will not be ignored.
Exactly. So Jeremy is in a pretty good spot. Obviously, you got a good ally in Denise, and so we'll see where that goes.
Yes,
but
sir.
For right now, good spot.
Agreed.
Who's number 2?
Ben Drybergen.
Yeah, Ben. Why is Ben here?
Well, he decided to partner up with Sophie and Sarah, and I think he's got a really good bond with them. The help to get Rob out, basically flip to get Rob out, and I don't know, he's starting to dig his way back out. In the beginning, he wasn't really doing too well. People didn't trust him. Now like he said in the show, he's showing that he can play a different way. He's making bonds and trying to be in on the votes and control stuff, and he's actually done pretty damn well on challenges.
Yeah, for sure. I think he was the first season who was good in the group challenges, just not great in the individual ones.
Right.
And they said a lot of the challenges too on the stretch are just stand here, hold something, in the individual part. But one thing I still say about Ben, he came back from that vote where Rob goes out, and Adam was kind of like, okay, we voted Rob out. Ben was like, ladies, isn't this great? We voted Rob out. He immediately formed that bond and he just flanked Adam.
Yeah, and he started ignoring Adam and won't talk to him when he's next to him, and Adam knows that he's getting shut out.
Yeah,
so.
and the girls know, Sophie and Sarah know that Ben is with them because Ben is not entertaining Adam at all.
Yeah,
he's just focused on them.
Right.
And right now, Ben can definitely keep digging. He needs to because I think Ben still kind of looks like he's not trustworthy.
Like looks like as a person, or you're saying
no, like in the game. In the game, I think Ben he's still got that little bit of those scars from his slipping with when he was with Rob and going and telling everybody, kind of being a little weaselly earlier in the game.
Right, because Adam did the exact same thing, and now he's getting hung for it, but Ben's being trusted a little bit more.
Because Ben's working on that. And Ben's doing a better job.
Ben didn't also go out there like Adam did, though. It wasn't the same.
It was Ben, and
Adam
it was way
went
worse.
out like, I'm hot poop, and I'm going to, get Rob to work with me and all this other stuff.
Adam's was way more egregious than Ben's was. Ben did a good job, and he's doing a better job of kind of reining it in and fixing what he did wrong.
Yeah.
And he did flank Adam. He's doing better. He's fixing the mistakes he made earlier. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think Ben's doing well. I still think he's got ways to go, because I think if he goes down right now with Sarah or Sophie, they both get more votes than him.
Yeah.
And I think he loses to both of them. I think he's set up great to be a third place finisher right now. But he can dig his way out still. There's still plenty of time in the game to do so. I think if the final vote was right now between the three of them, he gets no votes and loses to Sophie or Sarah. But because of just how he's still not as trusted, and that's hard to build that back up. But he has enough runway left to do that. So I think he could. I think he could make those moves, and I think the players in the game would be more willing to give the votes to a Sarah or a Sophie because they didn't do anything wrong than to a Ben. But Ben had enough runway left to fix what he did wrong earlier in the game.
I guess.
No, you don't agree?
I argue with some of it. I don't think Sophie's really done much in the game besides find an idol. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ben, if it weren't for Ben, they wouldn't have voted Rob out because Sarah didn't use her seal vote or her second vote or whatever she has. Mm-hmm. So technically one of them would have been out if it weren't for him. He does have that as his credit for getting rid of Rob. And
they also had Adam flip 2, and which
did Adam vote on Rob though? I didn't think he did.
Right. Yeah, he did. It was 4-1. Yeah.
Okay.
But Sarah can also say, "Yeah, I'm so good at this game. I got Ben to flip, and I didn't even need my advantage." That's Sarah's argument.
No, Sarah would do better, but I'm saying Sophie.
Yeah.
I think Ben would win over Sophie if we were going to do it right now.
Maybe.
But
either way, Sarah wins.
Sarah wins.
And Ben loses. But Ben has Ben is if Ben and Adam are both kind of the same spot, Ben is way ahead of Adam right now because he's using the runway he has left to get there. Yeah. As far as Adam, would be the next to go. He's got no allies. Ben is at least cultivating something, and like Nick's season, when it was the tribe who was down with 3 people left at the end of the vote, it was the 3 people left were Angelina, Mike, and Nick. And look what happened though.
Yeah, I know.
Those are the final 3. I could see the same dichotomy with this trio, with Adam being left out, because Ben's working it, and Ben's getting himself back into it, and I think that's where he stands right now.
It's working it.
Exactly. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna make jokes, so let's move on.
Let's go on so you can go to bed. Finally, the player of the week. No questions, no anything. Number 1 with a bullet, hands down, 100%. Number 1 player of the week is
Denise Stapley.
Yeah, Denise Stapley, exactly. Denise, number 1 by a lot.
C.
Denise dominated this episode. Took the line Sandra gave her and turned around against Sandra. Mm-hmm. Sandra's like, go ahead and vote out Tony. And Denise said, all right, fine, but I'm going to save my other ally just in case. Because if they split the votes through one on Jeremy, now they just go ahead and vote out Jeremy. Mm-hmm. And Denise's plan is for nothing. So Denise did waste an idol.
But she gained a strong ally.
She gained an ally, 1. And 2, which is going to be better for her than an idol long term. An idol only saves you 1 vote. An ally can save you for multiple votes.
Right.
So she gained an ally, even though she didn't really need to lose the idol. But if they would have voted out, through one on Jeremy, then her vote wouldn't have mattered. They would have just gone to the tie vote and voted on Jeremy. Mm-hmm. Also, I thought what she was going to do, I thought she was going to throw her vote on like Jeremy or something, and then tie, and then play the idol on Jeremy, so it's 0-0 vote, and then they have three of them. They all have to vote on who they want between the three of them, between Kim and Tony and Sandra. That would have been fun to see.
It'd have been interesting.
That would have been fun to see the three of them who have to vote for one of each other, all just killing each other right there. And I bet you Kim jumps immediately and says, which of those two do you want to get rid of? And they all just,
pretty much.
They vote between Tony and Sandra, and they, really tear stuff up. But Denise's only real thing she did wrong is she really needed to play that out for Jeremy. She did obviously secure that ally, though, so that does help. And took what Sandra said, okay, here, she saved a fire token, turned it around on Sandra, and now Tony's by himself, too. So Tony's going to be,
Tony's going to be running around the island with like a chicken with head cut off.
Absolutely. And so Denise took a great move that Sandra was trying to make, nullified it with an even better move, and
mic drop.
Mic drop. Oh, for sure. It was a legit awesome move. One of the best I've ever seen. Took Sandra's great move, outdid it with a better move of her own, knocked out one of the greatest players of all time, and did it with just style. It was one of the best moves I've ever seen. And Denise, hats off to you. Fantastic job. I don't know if it's I think it might be too early to say Denise can win this game because I think it's too big of a move too soon, and I think people are gonna be on notice. But don't say Denise is not a threat.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Don't call her non-threat because that's what happens. You get axed.
Oh, for sure. She is as legit of a threat as anybody. I said.
Too legit to quit.
For sure. I think she is one of the players who I said, I named my team the intentional Matt Sings after Denise. Denise is one of the players who I think she has maybe the best job ever, a freaking therapist out on the island. Like, all you do is talk to people and they open up to you and share their problems.
Yeah.
Right? That's fantastic. And I think, she is in the spot where she's not like she's not a Parvati or a Sandra where everybody's like, oh yeah, you're a Denise. Another reason I made her an early pick of mine. But also, right, she's not like a huge out there threat, but also she's very smart, very strategic, and is a great communicator. And that's going to all work in her favor. I don't see her necessarily winning, but that move will never be undone. And even if she doesn't win the game, she made one of the greatest moves in Survivor history.
Yeah.
And had one of the best weeks in Survivor history. So, hats off to Denise. Well done. We'll see what happens next. I still think there's a lot of games to be played. I still think there's a lot of big things to happen. But there's no denying that this was Denise's week.
Yeah, for sure. Agree.
Awesome. Anything else to say before we wrap up tonight?
I think we talked enough.
I think we definitely did. So, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Sounds great.
How do you find you on Twitter?
Just T820.
Just T820.
See.
Great. You can find me on Twitter, YoGabbaGabba. You can email the show, pavementproductions@gmail.com. You can Facebook.com/Pavement Road Productions. Subscribe and share this post. Tell your friends and help us get more viewers. We definitely love it. Check out The Masked Singer, which is going to come up in the next couple days. Jessica hopefully won't be as goofy and will be able to do her show.
What do you mean? I'm entertaining when I'm goofy.
Ish.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Other than that, be sure to check back and stay safe out there.
If you like us, send toilet paper. If you hate us, throw toilet paper at us. We'll take it either way.
Yeah, we're good. We don't need any. We're fine. But we appreciate it. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves out there.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Stay inside and away from people.
Absolutely. Watch videos on YouTube.
There you go.
That's what we suggest. And in like comment on shows and like subscribe to shows and share posts and stuff like that. That's what you should do when you're stuck inside.
Not talking about ours, maybe, but if you want,
yeah, whatever.
Suggestion.
Cool. Other than that, what a great episode! I feel like it's been like 3 real great episodes. Really, since Ethan got knocked out, Ethan was a decent move. And then he had Tyson, and then Rob, then this one.
Yeah. So
I think it's been really 3 or 4 solid episodes in a row. And it's really hopefully it's not losing any steam. Hopefully, it continues to keep going for a while, and really has this could be an all-time season for sure. And I hope it does. Hope it is.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you. Stay safe. And for now, I think that's it. I think nothing else for you. Because the tribe has spoken.